Airbnb reported their latest quarterly results yesterday after the market closed. And to be honest, the stock's reaction was quite interesting. It was first up around 10-11% or so. And now at the time of making this video, the stock is down 6.17%. Block had almost a similar pattern. We're going to do a specific video about Block, but Block also was down 12% or so. Now it's only down 3%. So definitely interesting to see how the stock reacts when the report comes out, when the market actually reads it, and then after the earnings call as well. So right now we've got here Airbnb down 6.11%. You can now buy one share at $138.5. We'll have a market cap of around $90 billion. Year to date, the stock is up now it's going to be actually less than 8% up year to date. Year over year, closer to 20%. Currently, the average analyst price target sits at around $129. There are 46 analysts covering this company, and 28 of them have a hold rating. If we look at some pricing metrics, forward PE here sits at 35.9 times, EV to EBITDA at 20 times, price to sales 7.8 times, price to free cash flow, it's basically the cheapest metric that you get here, is 22.6 times. Price to earnings to growth sits at 2.83, big jump because, well, previously that was closer to 1.45. And that's basically because, well, you can see that in fiscal 2024, EPS is expected to be down 45% year over year, then grow 10.3% in fiscal 2025, and another reacceleration in 2026 by close to 18%. So what exactly has happened? Let's go over the numbers and the comments that were made during the earnings call. I'll also share a couple of things that I think Airbnb should be doing in the next couple of years. If you're interested in all of that, hit the like button, subscribe, hit all the buttons, all the buttons. It's free. You can always unhit them later on. And if you want to support me even further, do check out the link down in the description. End up in comments with the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to fool.com/couchinvestor. Thank you very much. So let's start with a major overview here by Brad, Stock Market Nerd on X. So you can see beats across the board-ish. They did miss on free cash flow estimate by 19%, but all the rest, they beat on GBV, they slightly beat on revenue, beat on EBITDA as well. And then for Q4, slightly missed Q4 revenue estimate and roughly met EBITDA estimate. They raised annual EBITDA margin guide from 35%, from over 35% to now 35.5%. Now, there is a clear pattern with Airbnb, right? This is a growing company, but we can see that the growth rates, especially for revenue and even for free cash flow, it's slowing down, right? Revenue is still expected to grow 11.2%, then in fiscal 2025, 10.3%, and then another 10.3% in fiscal 2026. So yeah, you're not getting the huge growth rates that you got before. As for free cash flow, to me, this is the thing with Airbnb. It's a free cash flow machine, right? You're going to stay close to $4.5 billion for fiscal year 24 and 25, and then grow back again around 8-9% or so, reaching $4.8 billion in fiscal 2026. Those are projections, of course. These things can change. But yeah, you're not buying here right now a company that will grow revenue 20% year over year anymore, or at least until they launch their next products, which we're going to talk about that right now. They said that Airbnb aims to launch 1 to 2 new businesses annually, and they should potentially generate over $1 billion in incremental revenue. He said that already, I think, a couple of weeks ago on, I believe it was CNBC. They talk about the initial focus on travel adjacencies with long-term goal extending far beyond travel. They talked a bit about how Amazon started with books and now look at Amazon, what they've done. Also gave the example of Uber, then expanding with Uber Eats, etc., etc. They will continue investing in growth initiatives for 2025, including core optimization, global market expansion, and new products and services. Significant technology investments already made to enable expansion into new verticals, and the unified branding strategy, all new offerings to be marketed under the single Airbnb brand. Now, I want to ask you guys, what do you think Airbnb should be launching in the future? I think the basics, like a loyalty program, membership, like you have on bookings, right? The Genius one, you can level 1, level 2, level 3, etc., etc. A loyalty program should have been here already, right? Because that gives you an incentive to keep coming back to Airbnb. Oh, I accumulated points, and then with those points, you get a nice discount on your next stay or experiences, etc., etc. So membership, I think that's a must. Then with regards to, well, personalization. We know with AI, you can now make sure that every app is really, really personalized. So I think they'll go the way of making sure that Airbnb, okay, it's Airbnb for everyone, but when you log in, it's a personalized Airbnb for you. It knows exactly what you wanted, what you did in the past, the experiences, etc., and it could probably, and what probably will, create a digital travel itinerary for you. Basically, you tell him, or maybe it tells you already what you might want to do in the winter, in the summer. Oh, look, I found these flights, I found this place, these things to do there. Perfect time to be there. 1 to 2 weeks. Do you want me to book it? Yes or no? Like a personal assistant, basically. Or you can basically type, like an LLM, right? A chatbot. You write, I want this, this, and that. Book it. Okay, then it does exactly that. So that's probably also an option. Then, monetization wise, when you are there, maybe partner up with the likes of DoorDash, Uber Eats, right? So you get food whenever you want, whenever you order, when you get there, there's food in the fridge, stuff like that. No brainer, in my opinion. And then, of course, I think everybody can see this coming, right? Advertising, promoted listings, or advertising from outside companies, right? For experiences and stuff like that. I think that's also going to generate them quite a lot of revenue. So those are the things I think they will be launching and should be launching in the next, I would say, 2 years or so. So yeah, and then for sure build on top of the Airbnb brand, like the Icons one. It's incredible launch. I think they should build up on that as well. So yeah, those are my ideas. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. Moving on to the future and 2025 challenges actually. So continued investment in core business optimization for affordability, reliability, and quality. Expansion into new global markets, especially emerging markets like Mexico, Brazil, Germany, Italy, Spain, Korea, Japan, India, and China. Launch of new products and services beyond vacation rentals, aiming for, like we said before, 1 to 2 new $1 billion revenue streams annually. Of course, these things you need time, investments, and see if it actually works out. Balancing investment in growth initiatives with maintaining profitability and navigating regulatory hurdles in different markets. And so we reach these numbers for Q3. So revenue increased 10% year over year to $3.7 billion. Net income, $1.4 billion with a 37% margin, and adjusted EBITDA of $2 billion with a 52% margin. Now for free cash flow, $1.1 billion for the quarter, 29% margin here. Trailing 12 months, $4.1 billion with a 38% margin. So here we got a margin hit. Now remember, $1.1 billion in free cash flow. And if we go and look at the shares that they bought back, they repurchased basically all of that, right? They repurchased $1.1 billion in the quarter. They generated $1.1 billion in free cash flow. As for the other two business metrics here, GBV or gross booking value, that was $20.1 billion, up 10% year over year, and nights and experience booked, 122.8 million, that's up 8% year over year. Also, right now, quick update from the, 3 months ago video, they now generated over $635 million in interest income. As for the outlook, they said the following: we're building on robust momentum in November. We are off to a great start in Q4. We are seeing strong demand trends in Q4 across core expansion markets for both long and short-term lead times. As a result, we expect year-over-year growth of nights and experience booked in Q4 to be higher than Q3. In Q4 2024, we expect ADR to increase modestly on a year-over-year basis, driven by continued demand for larger and higher priced listings, as well as a small benefit from foreign exchange. For Q4, we expect to deliver revenue of $2.39 billion to $2.44 billion. And then for the full year 2024, they now expect to deliver an adjusted EBITDA margin of approximately 35.5%. In addition, we expect to deliver a full year 2024 free cash flow margin several points above our adjusted EBITDA margin. And so right now, if we look at the chart here, we can see that pre-market, we're going to open just above the 200-day moving average. So it's going to be very interesting to see if on Friday the stock can stay above the 200-day moving average. If not, then $134.16 is where the 20-day moving average sits at, and $131 is where the 50-day moving average sits at. To me, I mean, if we can revisit some lower prices here, okay, long term, it's not really that big of a difference, $137 or $131. not that big of a deal. But yeah, if I can get more shares for less, I would be quite happy. It's been a good quarter for Airbnb. Yes, it becomes tougher, those year-over-year comparisons, especially if we go further and further away from the time of, well, people spending their stimulus money, the economy reopening, so everybody wants to travel again. You're getting through those periods of tough year-over-year comparisons. Then it's up to them to come out with new stuff, innovate, and make sure that the Airbnb experience stays special. Because yes, of course, online you only see the negative things, right? Oh, cleaning fees are super high, which I admit it's incredible. But you have to make sure that the Airbnb brand stays pretty popular, pretty good, and I think that's the case, right? It's already a verb. So they've done that right, and then it's up to them to deliver on their future promises. Let's see what happens in the coming years. I'm still bullish on Airbnb. That's the review. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think about this. Like, subscribe, all of that, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.